Yes, we've hit record, everyone. We've hit record, and we don't know if that's good for you or if it's good for us, but it's just going to be fun, and we're going to give it a shot.
Yeah.
So here we are
What are
today.
we doing?
You know what we're doing. I'm Jess. I go on as the absolute perler, and Prue, you are.
I'm Dear Prue.
That's right.
So yeah, and I'm a knitwear designer and teacher, and you'll see me on Instagram sharing different designs that I'm working on, and around in workshops and retreats around Australia, and yeah, it's great to be also here and in this space, whatever it is that we're doing, right, Jess?
Absolutely. So I've started up something called Yarn Trail Victoria, and so I'm working on creating a yarn trail through Victoria, funnily enough, and to link knitters and crocheters, yarn lovers with the places that the yarn is produced at. And so the way I came across Prue is that she was at a farm that I had spoken to the person about the yarn trail, and he mentioned me to her, and she was my first follower. First follower on Instagram was her of Yarn Trail Victoria. And
I'll
so
follow you anywhere, Jess.
yeah, oh, so we have connected that way. We've never actually met in person, but we are now very excitedly every week talking about lots of different ideas. Now, some ideas we're going to talk about are the names we had for this little event that we're doing now.
Podcast. I don't know what the term is these days.
So,
Blog thing.
it's just
Sharing.
us. It's just
Yeah.
us.
It's just
So
us sharing.
we have decided, we think we might call ourselves, what are we going to call it? You can tell because you came up
So
with
I think we've landed on the Knitrepreneurs. And the thinking there is obviously we're both knitters, both yarn lovers, and we're both business women who are trying to build up the ecosystem and our own businesses so that everyone's flourishing, everyone's thriving, everyone's loving their
yeah.
knit life.
Absolutely. But we have come up with a few other names. Did we want to share a couple of those?
I think we should, like,
Yep.
especially some of the really funny, outlandish ones that you came up with.
Right. So one of one of my favorite other ones that I came up with was one called the Stockinettes. So we could be
Love
the
it.
Stockinettes, and I can see in this name a lot of hair flicking. I
Yes,
can
yes,
see a lot
yes.
of a lot of big. I can see a lot of the earrings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I even said to Prue, we might be able to even do, mini skirts and coloured stockings and things like that. But we might at some stage become the Stockinettes, everyone. You just never know. So
Just,
stay tuned.
transformation for an episode. But like I see Motown, get up and doing the singing and the
Yeah.
whatever, and or maybe blue stockings. So, thinking about the academic women and
See, we're both teachers as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Well, we're in a past life. Oh, I'll be back in teaching, but yeah, we've both got some similar backgrounds there, and so we'll just keep you updated as to the transformation mode, I think, of what
yeah.
this is going to
It's going to
start
be an
out
evolving
and
thing.
become, and all that sort of stuff. We just hope we can bring some joy and some yarn and some light and some light and lighthearted conversation about cool stuff that we like.
Yeah, in the knitting space. And I guess we were doing this anyway, Jess. We've been sort of meeting like
Yeah,
every week to chat about like and plan things together, chat about, I
absolutely.
don't know, we talked about books, we talked about teaching, we talked about all sorts of things. And we sort of thought, I don't know, maybe people might want to like tune in for like 10 minutes of this conversation that we have every week anyway. If you don't like it, we're going to have the conversation anyway.
Anyway, and we are very aware, everyone, we are very aware of the fact that we do talk quite quickly. So sometimes, and this is a personality, it would be both a flaw and a strength for both of us, that when we get excited, we talk very fast. So we will try to be aware of that, but just get excited with us,
Yeah.
and that's how it's going to work. So Prue, please do tell us about what you're wearing.
Oh yes, so this is a jumper called it's from this book Brioche Chic by Mercedes Tarasovich Clark, and it's called the Deep V Chevron Deep V. But I had this skein of beautiful Obsession yarns, silk, merino, and it's called Tesla, and it's got this beautiful sheen to it, and I only had one skein, so I wanted to sort of celebrate. So I mixed it with like Malabrigo, Rios, I think it was,
Mhm.
yeah, and made it a two-color brioche. But yeah, thank you. I like it too.
Excellent.
It's a really
Wonderful. It's very
flattering cup. I don't know if
sparkly.
you can see. It sort of goes
Stand
right
up.
down.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yes. Wonderful. And just that sparkly bit through there is
It's the
quite good.
silk. It's the beautiful silk makes it luminescent.
Yep. And so Prue's been knitting for over 30 years. I haven't. I don't have quite the collection of garments that she does, but I work away on various things, and the skills are there. Although everyone, I do have to say, at the moment I haven't been knitting much lately because I have a knitting injury. I have tennis elbow and I can't actually knit and without pain at the moment. So
I don't think I could live without knitting. I don't know how you do it.
it's so frustrating. It's really, really frustrating because I open up Instagram and I see all the nice things. Oh, I want to try that. I want to try that. I'll learn this skill and that skill. I can knit, like as in I can do it and it doesn't hurt to do it, but afterwards I can't actually extend my arm and it's really, really sore. So I've got to get some work done on that. And
that sounds painful.
Yeah,
Spiritually painful as well as
oh,
physically.
it's like shove it in and twist this knife. So what I've got here is just a couple of things I've been sitting on for months. I should have sent these to my friend months ago.
Are these knit gifts, knit wishes?
Yeah. I had this one particular friend who silly me. I took her to my local yarn store and she's just like, "Oh, I'll have that, Jess. You can make me this, and can you make me this?" Oh, for God's sake! Yes, all right.
The worst. I hope she's a close friend.
Oh, she's my best friend ever.
Oh, well then.
So I've made her, so it's all right. I tolerate it. So just a very short little infinity scarf towel thingy with some lovely blues in there and a bit of a easy yarn over stitch. So I did that on a trip to Sydney earlier in the year, and I've still got it and haven't sent it to her.
Have you sneakily worn it? Have you just worn it out?
Oh,
not really. Oh, just to test it, around the house a bit.
Put it on. And we'll see how we go. She likes a bit of a.
Oh, yeah.
Oops, caught on my ring. Anyway, right. So
don't break it. It's a gift.
Oh, don't break it. Yeah. Anyway, and then she's got two sports mad sons, and so they've requested beanies, and so I've just simple beanies, but then I've just had to do a bit of duplicate stitch on the front
to
get the. This is the Melbourne Renegades cricket team. I had no idea they existed. I had to do this. Yeah. And so there's just a simple beanie there, and there'll be a second one just with a bit of duplicate stitch on it. So that's been pretty straightforward. But it's those things that just sit on the top of the piano at home and they just sit there and I'll do that and I'll do that. And so so that's what I've got.
She's obviously a very close friend because you're knitting for her kids as well.
Yes. Oh yes. We do holidays together, that type of thing. So that's wonderful. And when you can't stop knitting, you can't make yourself 20 beanies, can you? Like you've got to give them to someone.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
Poor people. So but other than that, I came into possession yesterday of another knitting machine. I've got 2 knitting machines now, so I'm going to develop those skills up a bit, especially because of the whole elbow thing. So it's a chunky knitting machine. It's a Bond sweater knitting machine. I don't know how to use it yet, but I'll report back in.
Next week. Let's hear a little bit about your progress.
About the knitting machine. I've got a singer now, an old singer, and then this Bond sweater. It's a bit of a thing, but we'll see how that works out.
Exciting. I can't wait to hear more about that.
Yeah, something to do and a new skill to develop while the hand knitting's not actually happening.
Oh, awesome.
All right.
So the next thing was we're just going to talk a little bit about like events that we've got coming up, things that we're planning, because part of this is where this conversation initially started a few weeks ago about things we want to work on together. So we can't reveal everything, but we can give you a little taster of some of the things that we're looking at working on. Yeah.
Okay, well, as part of Yarn Trail Victoria, what we're actually, there'll be some retreats happening next year. So nothing's fully locked in, but there'll be 3-day retreats in various parts of Victoria to link in with different regions and different farms and things like that. So stay tuned for those. They'll be pretty good, all different seasons and in different locations across the state. One thing we've been talking about this morning also is in May in Ballarat, there'll be what we're calling the Woolcraft Weekend. Again, I'm not going to go too many details just because things are still going through planning and council and stuff, and we're nothing's set in stone, but we're looking.
Oh, it's so hard not to talk about it because it's going to be so exciting. There's going to be so many great things coming together, and it's going to be great.
There'll be look towards the last weekend in May. There'll be a really interesting event with knitting and shearing and doing that as fast as possible. There will be some workshops and
Are you going to shear, Jess? You can do any shearing?
oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
I'm all over that.
I'd love to get in on that.
All over it. Yeah, no. But yes, there'll be a couple of sheep in the middle of Ballarat, very possible. All of these things, and some workshops and stuff that Prue's offering, as well as the spinners and weavers here in Ballarat. So yeah, look out for those things. More notice will come soon.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and still developing the actual backbone of Yarn Trail Victoria, which is the map of the yarn trail and which farms are involved. I'm in touch with people like that, and it is growing. It's slow, but it's it's getting there. So yeah,
I think that's the most exciting, Jess, is like where you get to actually engage with and see and learn more about all these different providers that are working in their own space. And yeah, it's really exciting to connect people into that ecosystem that they perhaps don't even know exists. So yeah, it's very, very cool. And I guess that's what's drawn me to what I want to talk about, just very briefly. One of the events I'm working on is Fibre Feast in South Australia. So I'm in Adelaide, South Australia, and we're doing the same thing. We're trying to, well, not exactly what you're doing, but we're trying to connect different makers, different indie dyers and farm shops and people throughout our state and interstate. Actually, we had the Pearl Box come and run a stall last year from regional Victoria. So we're trying to draw people together to get really excited about yarn craft and fibre craft. And so I'm on the organising committee now, and we're moving to earlier in the year and a new site, but I can't say anything more. More info to come.
Yes. It's a lot of oh no, I can't say too much in case things change. But
we're just sowing seeds of excitement, and that's enough at the moment, I think.
Come back to us for more information, people.
That's it. I think that's probably it for us today, but like we can't finish without the chicken of wisdom.
We really can't. Okay.
No, I think we need a moment from the chicken of wisdom.
We need a moment. So I'm at my mum's house today, and this is her chicken of wisdom. I have my own, so you will meet another chicken of wisdom at another point. But the chicken of wisdom is a hand knitted creation from I can't remember the lady's name. I'll get it to you.
Tell us next week.
Yeah, she's on Facebook, and it's a group, and she auctions off these chickens and sends the funds to the Hamlin Fistula Hospital in Ethiopia, which is wonderful. So, but the Chicken of Wisdom does have her own Instagram account, and she's very wise, and she likes to tell us lots of things. So the latest from the Chicken of Wisdom, you'll have to check out Instagram, is it's a plea to the children of the household that live with me, of my household. And the plea to the children is to please eat your broccoli because it makes your mother feel like a better parent.
Oh, such wise words.
It's just, And another thing that the chicken has told the children is that the nuggets will be held captive until the veggies are eaten. Okay. So these are the sorts of pearls of wisdom.
Pearls of wisdom
from the hand knitted chicken of wisdom. And this is technically the chicken's sister, but that's okay. We'll go with that today. She's quite lovely.
So beautiful.
And on that note, thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. It's been lovely chatting.
Hope part of our conversation.
Bye.
Bye.